Hi, I'm Devin here at Glazer's Camera, and today we're going to show you how to develop your own C41 film using CineStill's 1-quart kit. Now, included in the kit is 7 plastic bottles, and if you're making the full 1-quart 32-ounce solution, you actually don't have to measure any of this. But the developer is going to be in 3 parts, as well as the Blitz, which is a Bleach and Fix solution. A, B, and C. Also included is going to be a final wash and stabilizing solution. Next, we're going to make the developer. The first procedure is going to be pouring out 20 ounces of 120-degree water into a measurement beaker. Looks about right. Now we're doing 20 ounces of water because we're making the full 32 ounces of the 1-quart kit, which means that we don't have to measure part A, B, or C. We can just put the full contents into the solution. Let's start with part A. This is my mixing tool, which is Patterson brand. Part A. Looks pretty well mixed. Now we're going to go on to the part B. Finally, we have part B. Next is going to be the final part, part C. We're now going to store the developer into a labeled container for safekeeping while the temperature drops to the highest developing temperature of 102 degrees, so that you have the fastest developing time. To the top. Be sure to label these with the contents so you don't mess it up later. Next, we're going to be mixing the Bleach Fix solution. Make sure our water is still up to temp and that we have a container for it to pour into. And we're going to pour 18 ounces of 2 temperature water. Let's get our mixer. And start with part A. Next, we'll add part B. You can't smell this, but it smells great. Finally, we're going to add part C. That's the fun one. We're now going to pour it into a bottle that will be labeled with Blitz so that we don't mix them up later. Lastly, we're going to make our final wash / stabilizer solution. We're going to need to pour 30 ounces of warm water. We're pouring 30 ounces because we're making the full 1 quart that the kit provides. There's only one part to the final wash / stabilizer. And mix well. We're going to store it and set it aside for later. Be sure that you apply a label so you know what it is. It doesn't get mixed up with anything else. Now let's check on the temperature of our developer. It looks like we're right above the 102 degree recommended temperature. Set the thermometer aside and pull it out of the tempered bath. Now we have 2 rolls of film preloaded onto the reels in the Patterson developing tank. So now we're going to pour our developer that is at 102 degrees into the tank. Now that we're at the top, we're going to start with 10 seconds of constant agitation. And then we're going to put the lid on, and every 30 seconds we're going to do 4 inversion flips. Make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want to do an inversion flip without the lid firmly sealed. This is the final agitation. 2, 3, and 4. And we are at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so we must now take the lid off and put the remainder of the developer into a separate container. And then we're going to move on to the Blitz. Let's take a temperature of the Blitz just to be safe, because it does have to be between 75 degrees and 105 degrees for it to be effective. We're golden. Let's pour it in. All right, we're going to start with 10 seconds of constant agitation with the timer going. And then we're going to move on to inversion flips every 30 seconds for 8 minutes total. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And final agitation. 4. So now we're at 8 minutes, so we can stop and empty the tank. We're now into the water rinse portion of the development. So we're going to fill and empty this tank 7 times. Alternately, you could run it under water between 75 and 105 degrees for 3 minutes straight. And this is our final rinse, 7th. We're now on to the final and optional final rinse / stabilizer, which we have mixed here. Now let's pour it in and agitate for the first 15 seconds. Start our timer. After the first 15 seconds, you'll let it set for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And now we wait. All right, we're at the end of our minute. So let's pour this to save for later use. Let's have a look at the results. Take the lid off there. Pull up the reels. Squeegee this off. Perfect. And there you have it. You too can develop your own C41 film in the comfort of your home using the CineStill 1-quart kit. Available at glazerscamera.com.